I'ma keep the on welfare. The pink stone real. Bling bling blow, yeah. Mama got style, yeah. Chanel reptile player. On Mars, gotta get the grace of the God. 3 rock stars, nobody seeing the gang on guard. Yeah. Superstars out. Brand new cars. We by the bar now. Swaying doors now. Smash. Shots and goals. Rock the shows. Big bang rolls. Cash. Now she go. For the team. Now she don't ski. Splash. Think about posting up on the ground, man. The leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers. Think about posting up on the ground, man. The leader. Whole gang in the field. We don't do bleachers.
Henry! It's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, the big man, Derrick Henry, fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tampa Bay.
Wentz to throw on second down. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
Now Wentz to try again after the pick 6. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 23 carries, 76 yards.
After the last game, they had plenty of reason to be confident in their running game. And even though they're facing a top 10 defense, they're not going to shy away from doing what they do best. Make them adjust to them. Make them stop what they do before they go to any type of a changeup.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. A first down carry for Henry. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fit and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. This one complete, right side to McDonald's. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now a handoff to Henry. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now Wentz on 3rd down. It's caught. Jones. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback?
And he's got it! Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Derrick Henry with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point up and good by Bullock. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And it's the Panthers there out to the early advantage. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Part of the reason they're here, no doubt, was his big performance in the NFC title game, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl. The numbers for Baldwin last week, 8 catches, 136 yards.
And I don't know about you, partner, but if anybody ranks me in the top 10 in anything, I'm really happy, and that's exactly where he is now, number 10 in the league in receiving yards.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw is Newton. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Here's Coleman. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
Cam Newton is one of the most athletic, most unique quarterbacks we've ever seen. And his athleticism doesn't just show up when he's flipping over guys. It shows up even on plays as simple as quarterback sneaks.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll try the air now with Newton. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Dante Hightower in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Man, he got in there. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. 30. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. Now Bullock to add the extra point. Bullock good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And you can see it, as many of you know, they have clinched the NFC South, but as it stands, Charles, they would still need to host a game on Wild Card Weekend.
Remember the days when there were jokes about the NFC South, about how volatile a division it was, that you can go from worst to first just about every year, and stats actually proved that out. But in recent years, if you come out the NFC South, that's a Super Bowl contender. I mean, in the past couple of seasons, Carolina came out of the South, Atlanta came out of the South, so look out.
They'll toss it to Coleman. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there. Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat at 3. On 2nd and 10, Newton. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Von Miller in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Sheldon Richardson in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Here's Newton. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency. They'll run it now out of the gun. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The Falcons on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Newton now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He's going to loft one. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Drake Kirkpatrick. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Newton. And it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And he finds Stills, complete. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. On 1st down, Wentz. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. And Bullock will put this one through. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Now the punter, who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. Jakeem Grant now to return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in.
Looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Wentz going to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
On 1st down, it's Newton. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with 1st downs on each play.
And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Oh, my Cam. There's times when I'm not analyzing up here. I'm just appreciating. Led NFL quarterbacks in rushing last year. He is truly the ultimate weapon at that position.
Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Yeah, they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. Back to throw. Newton. Over the middle, complete. It's Fitzgerald. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Throwing again is Newton. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. McManus's point after is good. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Wentz now to throw. It's caught. Stills, right side. 20, 10. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Kenny Stills with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The return man is Grant. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have back on their heels.
The grab made by Curse over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more.
And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 40. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
That goes for a gain of 31.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're
without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get.
Back now in Tampa. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th.
Hey, get right down. Hey,
They get it to him running left. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman, his 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Falcons draw a bit closer. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. Now McManus on to kick this one off. Brandon Oliver now on the return. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. If this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the...
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
To throw on second down is Newton. And this is caught by Curse. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this. until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Eluding the pressure right. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about...
And now here's another interception. Trevor Williams with a pick. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then against with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however.
Offside.
Let's see what
Defense.
that's about. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Here we go.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Come on now.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
To throw is Wentz. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Baldwin. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Give the tackle that time to Rodney McLeod.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Throwing is Newton. Brought in over the middle by Grant. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5, and he will take it out to the 25-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They begin with Henry. And Henry's hit. He lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And some room to maneuver. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Time for a break. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Back to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
They'll look to throw. He's got Curse. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone. Only
way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. Coleman now. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. 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 I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Yeah, they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. Back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop him with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
He'll look to throw. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now Wentz, I think this is going to be a free play.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole
Still
lot,
second
does
down.
it? Sometimes you get multiples. But I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And they will face a 2nd and 9 now following the penalty.
Here we go. 120. Let's go.
Wins to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. The Bucs on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. To throw is Wentz. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. And a great game comes down to this. Time for one play, and they've got to get it in the end zone.
And I want every cover guy I've got in the game on defense, every extra defensive back who can make a play on the football. So whether it's nickel, dime, quarter, whatever you want to call it, I want 5, 6, 7 guys back there.
A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles. And really the difference, obviously, was that 4th quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with...
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Look at them, how to make it in America. Real day one, ain't a lot of us. Mom worked 2 jobs, it was hard for us. Me and sis made it out, now she proud of us. They didn't teach me how to rap in those private schools. Wasn't like my rich friends, had a lot to lose. Less money, less options, lot of rules. So when that first deal came, it was opportune. And shorty got potential, I scout that. She say she in love, but I doubt that. Maybe it's to the clout. I get love in the north, I get love in the south, yeah. Shorty claims she a feminist, and her feminine. Girl, you know that he average. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money,